Phil? Well, first, thanks for inviting me to come on your show to set the record straight. As the world grows more complex, the dangers we face have adapted. We can no longer take a localized approach to protecting this nation or the world. The Avengers must become a global organization. Our new West Coast headquarters is just the first step. As for the Chimera, and I apologize if I get this wrong, but people much smarter than I am have explained it's powered by the Stark patented Terrigen reactor, capable of generating clean, efficient power. Not only will we be more mobile and more able to react to danger, we're working toward improving the world in peacetime as well as in crisis. Is this helicarrier designed for conflict? Well, yes. The Avengers' primary mission is to defend the public from harm. And sometimes that requires a little muscle, you know? When terrorists attack, even if we do our jobs, damage is done. People get displaced. Whole areas are deprived of power and basic food and water. But with the Chimera as our new mobile headquarters, we'll be able to solve some of these problems. So yeah, the Chimera is a military vessel, but it will also allow the Avengers to give something back to the world.
I don't appreciate Stark Industries setting roots in my own backyard without so much of a courtesy call. Tony loves to play this all off like the natural growth of the Avengers, but this whole thing reeks of his ego, just like the inside of his tin tux. I know you're working closely with him, and I don't want to sour your working relationship, but sometimes you'll find you just need to outmaneuver him, or else he's always going to construct a scenario where he's the hero on center stage. PIM Technologies has been in the region doing similar work on clean energy generation, but he never even bothered to talk to us because it's all about him, not about the science. And the public will eat it up. Anyway, I'm ranting. I'm glad you reached out, Monica. You could use someone who knows Tony and what he's capable of in your corner. I just want to make sure he doesn't take advantage of you. He's good at that. Hank Pym, Pym Technologies.
Her Majesty the Princess Shuri of Wakanda. Received your latest proposal for the redesign of the shield, and I must say, I'm a little overwhelmed. I am beyond grateful for your continued generosity for both the vibranium and the designs, of course, but I didn't anticipate so many options. After reviewing the possibilities for adding functionality and upgrades, my gut tells me that every new complexity is a potential for failure. Not that anything designed by you would be prone to failure, of course, but the simplest tool is often the strongest. I worry, as we expand and grow, that we forget that at our own peril. As far as the look, I am drawn to the simple and familiar. I intended to graciously decline any redesigns, but one caught my eye. 37th page, 5th design down. It's almost the same, but you've made the star a little larger, like it's reaching out with all 5 arms, trying to protect just a little more of the world. I like that. At the risk of being too on the nose, it feels right. Best, Steve.
I'm glad you asked, sir. I do have concerns about the Terrigen project. I think with the increasing media prominence of the Avengers, a continued close relationship with S.H.I.E.L.D. could expose us. We are fundamentally a covert government agency, and the Avengers wear brightly colored outfits while performing large-scale magic tricks for the public on a daily basis. And now we're being asked to stretch even further and tie our fates together even closer? It could be risky. I'm sure you've considered said risks, but you asked for my opinion. But the pieces are already in motion for the West Coast initiative, so what I'm gonna do is my job, and hold it together on this course. Because that's what you trust me to do, and in the end, that's all that matters. I have faith in you, and you have faith in me, and I won't let you down.
My friends, I must leave you. Now, do not weep. There are many alehouses in this land of oaks, and I must see them all. But I will return, and likely on a Thursday. For I have been told by Emily and her companions that the shepherd's pie here is passable, which would make it quite good indeed for America. But, of course, I will return. This is my home now, is it not? I am Thor, now of the West Coast. You know, there are others among the Avengers who have not embraced our expansion. Some of them, and I shan't name names, Bruce, fear that our reach exceeds our grasp. As if such a triviality could concern a god on such a trivia night as this. This is a new journey, and like all journeys, it is an adventure to be embraced lustily. Lustily. Lovely word, lustily. It's fun to say. Our benighted public relations acolytes would not approve that I told you these things, so I ask you not to record what I have said tonight on your cellular phones. If you have already done so, and yes, I am looking right at you, then promise me this footage is for your own enjoyment and not for your false friends on the computers. Promise? Good.
With the West Coast office, I'm going to be on 3, 4 times as many flights. And the Hulk hates flying. It's like jamming a bowl in a china shop 30,000 feet up. But it's going to happen. He has to do it. On the other side of the scale, there's Tony's project. There's being the Avengers, literally saving the world in as many ways as we can, and Monica. So much more time with Monica. Okay. I think I can make this work. Hulk will just, have to deal with it. And, all things being equal, future looks bright.
Bruce, I am so thrilled to have you fully on board. I know you weren't on the cheerleading squad for the West Coast Initiative, and I hear your reservations. I really do. But man, I haven't felt like this since we first formed the Avengers. That exultation and pride and terror all at once. It's like the first time you skydive with a chute that you made yourself. And yes, I am absolutely petrified. It's not just the Avengers on the line, it's everything Stark. I've thrown my whole heart and body into this. I stay up every night wondering if, when, and how I will end up regretting this. But then every day, getting to work with you on the Terrigen Project and knowing that we are literally writing history, that's worth anything. We are dragging a better tomorrow into existence by the force of our will, and we're doing it together. Honestly, it makes me choke up a bit. If you tell anyone this, I will tell them about the thing with the birthday cake at Clint's 40th. No, I have not forgotten. Love you, buddy.
I caught that look you gave me at the briefing. Or I guess you caught the look I was trying not to give you. So let's get it out there. No, I do think the initiative is the best move forward for the Avengers. Yes, I think we're doing more good for more people this way. That's why we get up in the morning. So of course I'm on board. That doesn't mean I have to like every minute of it. I can't weigh my cynicism against the real, tangible benefits of what we're doing, so I won't. But you asked. People love us. Today. But everyone knows who we are now. The more we grow, the higher a pedestal they put us on. That's a long way to fall, Cap. And if there's one thing I know, it's how fast people can turn on you. So let's do this, by all means. But let's not pretend it doesn't come with risk.
It was an excellent idea you had, logging the little safety violations Tony makes every time he bothers to show up in the laboratory late and wearing those awful rubber sandals with socks. I'm not optimistic enough to think it would ever amount to anything, but in some little way, it makes me feel like I have some control. If we were bold enough to take Terrigen to its logical conclusion, we wouldn't need people like him anymore. To have power like they wield, concentrated and unaccountable, it's an unsustainable system. The more I get to know them, the more I wonder how the world has made it this far without catastrophe. I don't resent Tony for what he's done as an Avenger, but I resent how they all justify their own existence as necessary when they're largely the architects of all our misfortune to begin with. Superhumans are a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I want out. Terrigen was supposed to be the way. I appreciate your ear, Monica. I feel surrounded these days, and it's good to have someone with similar interests to commiserate with.